Another enhancement we can add to our components is prop types. Prop types allow us to supply a property type for all of our different properties so that it will validate to make sure that we're supplying the right type. In this way, prop types are a feature but also working documentation about the props that you're using and what should be supplied as values. So let's go ahead and do this in the 3 different ways. Once again, we're going to start with our create class component. Now the create class component is going to add another key here called PropTypes, and PropTypes is going to be set equal to this object. Now the object that we're going to use here is going to have our property types defined. So let's set up this for total, powder, and backcountry. We'll say PropTypes.number. We'll also use powder, PropTypes.number. And then we'll use backcountry, which is yet another number. So our property types are pretty uniform here, but you can use this for array, you can use it for functions, you can use it for booleans, and much more. So you can check out the documentation for all of that info. The other thing I want to point out here is that I'm using prop types because I intend to destructure it from React. I could, if I wanted to just import all of React, use react.proptypes.number instead. Excellent. So now if I take a look at my index file, I want to make sure that I'm importing the create class version of the ski day count. I'm also going to try to render a property that has an incorrect value. So I'm going to say total equals lots. Cool, so I'm using a string. We're expecting a number, so let's see how this looks in our browser. So we've run this, and it is rendering this, but we see a warning in our console. Failed prop type, invalid prop total of type string supplied. It expected a number here. So this is pretty cool. It's letting you know if anything goes awry. The other thing I want to add here is required. So is required is another option. It's going to require a value. Let's say I didn't have total supplied as a default property. Now if we switch over to our index file and we remove total as a property here, we're going to see that there is a required prop for total that was not supplied. Pretty cool. The next thing I want to do here is let's handle this the ES6 way. So much like our default props, we're going to have to add these to the class instance. So let me make some space down here at the bottom. We're going to say ski day count dot prop types, and we'll set this equal to total prop types dot number powder prop types dot number, and backcountry is prop types number. Cool, and we'll also make sure that up at the top of this file, we import prop types. So in our index file, we're going to import the correct file, which is ES6. Let's go ahead and supply a different type here. So backcountry equals false. And if we take a look at this in the browser, we see our failed prop type. Once again, we're supplying a Boolean when we should be supplying a number. So the final step we'll take here is we're going to take a look at our ski day count the stateless way. And I'm actually just going to copy and paste this over into this file. Since we're not using React, we're just using the stateless function, we're going to import prop types from React. And then one more time back to our index file, we will just use the ski day count file. And now if we take a look at this in our browser, we see that incorrect value is being supplied once again for backcountry. So this is pretty cool. While using prop types, again, is not a requirement, I definitely recommend it. It's fairly quick to set up, and it really helps in the debugging process tremendously.